Experience 10 days of Grand Europe trip for easy EMI of Rs 25,000 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Wonder Diamond, South India's largest lab-grown diamond brand, stores at Chennai, Coimbatore, Bangalore and Hyderabad.
Hello and welcome to Galattaplus. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Shan's Bommai Nayagi, which stars Yogi Babu. And there are going to be spoilers in this review, so do be warned. Yogi Babu, sadly, is so synonymous with body-shaming comedy that it's wonderful to see him in Bommai Nayagi as someone's object of desire. That someone is his character's wife, played by Subatra Robert. The family sleeps together at night with a little girl sandwiched between her mother and her father. One night, the little girl wanders off elsewhere and the wife senses an opportunity for some privacy. She nudges Velu, that's the Yogi Babu character. He silences her with his version of, "Not tonight, I have a headache." The image made me smile, but not for long. This is a man from an oppressed caste and his livelihood comes from working at a tea stall. Life is hard enough, and then it becomes harder when something happens to the daughter. Director Shan is to be commended for one thing: he does not show what happens, he implies, and the implication reaches us through Yogi Babu's face. Velu senses what has happened and his wife is hysterical while taking the girl to a hospital, but he does not shed a single tear. It's like he's been hit by lightning. He's at once too dazed to do or feel anything, but his heart knows the reality and we see its heaviness in the actor's expression. He makes us feel both the father's external stillness and his internal restlessness. Does Yogi Babu have range? I cannot tell, but full credit to Shan and producer Paranjit for sensing that this actor would fit in this movie in this particular part and for giving him the space to show the audience an entirely different dimension. But the rest of the film is a very straightforward and simplistic drama. The crux is that we cannot always rely on braver people like the communist activist played by Hari Krishnan here to get us justice. At some point, even if we are intimidated by more powerful people, we need to stand up for ourselves. And then, as a beggar lady sings here through an MGR song, Dharmam Thalai Kaakum, the righteous will win, but at first Velu has no patience for those who protest against injustice. Like many of us, he just wants to lead his own life with his own family. It's only when he is personally affected that he realizes the value of those protesters and their protests. Someone has to stand up against an unjust system, otherwise the concept of Dharmam Thalai Kaakum will never come to fruition. I loved certain parts, like the one where Velu says he does not want to go further with this fight because it's a girl child, and an angry activist asks him, "Who are you to decide her future?" The line lands like a slap to the face. Even if the girl is Velu's own daughter, the community has a say in what happens to her. The film makes the case that protests, whether it's against an unfair government or against a clueless father, these protests are practically a civic duty. But the writing and craft do not have the finesse and the nuance found in other films from Neelam Productions. The dialogue is over-emphatic. It keeps sledgehammering home the importance of educating a girl child. The conceits are emphatic. The tragic little girl plays Bharat Mata in a school program and the metaphor is too literal. The courtroom drama that fills the second half proceeds along predictable lines, though again it's nice that the girl, played by Srimathi, is treated with a gentle touch. But her performance is a typical child performance, the equivalent of a studious kid who keeps raising a hand every time the teacher asks a question. I wish her smiles and her eagerness had been tempered a bit, that she'd been more three-dimensional. The boldest aspect of the screenplay is the twist at the end, long after we think the film is over. Despite the clumsy staging, like everywhere else, what comes across is true. Just because we stand up once, it's not over. For justice, we have to keep fighting and fighting and fighting. Only then can we truly claim Dharmam Thalai Kaakum. So that's it for Shan's Bommai Nayagi. If you like this video, do subscribe to Galattaplus and see you soon at the movies.
Experience 10 days of Grand Europe trip for easy EMI of Rs 25,000 only with GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
Wonder Diamond, South India's largest lab-grown diamond brand, stores at Chennai, Coimbatore, Bangalore and Hyderabad.